What's going on, everyone? Austin Sean Plays here, and welcome back to the 100% walkthrough of Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword with me, Austin Sean Plays. In our last episode, we gathered ourselves 3 pieces of heart, 2 goddess cubes, 2 goddess chests, no additional hearts, but we did upgrade our shield to the banded shield. We discussed briefly how to farm some monster parts, and most likely you have yourself a small wallet upgrade. Fantastic. In this episode, we're going to make our way into the Skyview Temple, aka the Forest Temple. We're going to be getting one of the coolest Zelda items ever, I promise. We're going to be fighting the final boss of the game for the first time, kinda. We're going to be activating 1 additional goddess cube and getting a 4th piece of heart for a total of 8 hearts by the end of the video. Fantastic. I decided that I was going to be switching my controls into button-only controls to see how that does and to see if I like it or not, so I'm going to be finding that out. As soon as you approach the temple, you just face up and you just shoot that little crystal thing there. We're going to be doing that quite a lot in this temple, and now we're going to be able to enter it. Very ominous. Very ominous indeed. How I'm going to be covering the dungeons is going to be a little bit more detailed than how I'm covering the outside. So you could get lost pretty easily, and there's, unlike other Zelda games, like there's only one solution to things in this one. It's extremely linear. Anyways, as we head in, you're going to find some keys, defeat it, and you're going to encounter one of the worst enemies in the entire game. It's a spider web. In order to defeat the spider web, you need to cut a passageway. There you go, perfect. And then we can make our way through. There are some more keys that we need to fight. This is just gonna be a whole linear path all the way down. Just follow it down, defeating the spider webs and the bats along the way. When you get to the bottom, you're gonna be seeing a Deku Baba up there. We need to defeat that. Actually, we don't really need to defeat it. We just need to hit the switch behind it. If your aim is good enough, you should be able to just pop it off right behind him. Nice. If your aim is not that good, then you want to shoot him, climb up there, defeat him, and then hit the switch, or just do the thing that I did instead. In this room, there can be little ambers on this wall. If so, you just need to roll into it. How do I roll into without motion controls on? I press L. Got it. Okay, that's neat. This is going to be a fairly simple puzzle. Just Z target on this, and then swing your sword around, and then it's going to get all dizzy, and it's going to be defeated. OMG! And then you can enter. Right here we have some Deku Babas hanging from the ceiling, as well as some grenades. You can actually just swipe these down with your sword if you face well enough. And welcome to the main room. Now, first thing we want to do is we can actually set a easier way to back travel. If we turn around as soon as we entered, you're going to see some little tiny spiders on the wall. You're going to want to defeat them little spiders. These little guys have a chance to drop monster claws. And if you climb up to the top, you're going to see some wood, defeat it, and boom. Now we have a fast travel point. This is where we came in, and if you head to the right, you just climb up there, and you are good, GG, good to go. You see a Bokoblin in the middle of the room. You just want to defeat him right quick. And there's a switch up there, and then the switch for this one is kind of hidden. You just need to hop down, and if you hop down, you're going to see this blue rupee, and OMG, it's the switch for this one. Neat. Even though we just hit that switch, we actually don't want to go into that room first. We do want to go into the one with the much more visible lock, gem lock, crystal. Should I go with crystal? Let's go with crystal. For reference on the map, in the main room, that is going to be the top right door. Inside of here, defeat the worst enemy of the game, Spiderweb, and then you're gonna see a spider hanging here. Oh, they changed this from the original. Before, it was on top of a spider web and you couldn't defeat it. In order to defeat these, all you have to do is swipe to the left or right, and then it's gonna be showing its belly, and then just stab it twice. GG. Anyways, you wanna hop down, you're gonna see this little hole in the wall, and if you head through here, you're gonna be seeing a crystal at the top. Let's go ahead and shoot this crystal. And that's gonna increase the water level throughout the main room. And the room that we're in. If you're confused about where this was, it's about in the middle of the room, right about there. We're just gonna climb up this, leap up. Huh, such a weird pile of dirt, isn't it? We're gonna head back over, and we don't need to do anything in this room. You didn't even really need to kill that spider if you didn't want to. And we're gonna head back out to the main room once again. Now, as long as you already unlocked this door, we're just gonna enter it. From here, we got a Bokoblin to take down. Excuse me, Mr. Bokoblin, want to defeat you? Thanks so much. And oh my god, there's a spider on a spider web. This is what I was talking about. That's what it was like on the other room. And I don't know if there's a way to defeat that, but we actually don't need to. Instead, pull out your slingshot, aim it right there, and let it go. We're gonna hop on over, except we're gonna face to the left. And we're gonna make our way to this little passageway. Now, if you want to defeat the spider, again, totally go for it, but we're gonna hit this crystal. And then also we're going to knock down that one as well. I'm just gonna go, hop on over, perfect. Let's swing and make our way on over to the other side. With making our way to the other side, there's going to be a quad Deku Baba to defeat. And oh, I do like the motion controls for enemies. Let's head on up and exit out of the door. Now, if we look just to the left, we're gonna see a big old treasure chest. Let's go ahead, open this up, and this is going to be the dungeon map. If you're familiar with other Legend of Zelda titles, this varies a little bit because the dungeon map kind of also has the compass in one. And as you're gonna see, this is not that large of a dungeon. And now that we have our dungeon map, let's just hop on down. And if we look to the side, this log is the one that we're gonna wanna go on. It's raised now that the water level is up. Let's go ahead and shoot this spider. Good job, I believed in you. And we're gonna make our way to the vines, and we're gonna head on over to the right. And now we're going to have access to the lower right side door. This is the last door of the final fort down here. In this room, you're gonna see a big old spider hanging from the ceiling. This may be your first time fighting a spider. I believe in you though. As I mentioned, just use the left and right sword attacks in order to spin him around. And then with the belly exposed, keep your distance so you don't get hit, and do a direct stab directly into the purple spot. That will defeat the malice, and oh wow, it's the same puzzle as before, except now there's 2 eyes. And good job. Go ahead, open up this chest, and that's going to be getting you a small key. Now you just want to backtrack all the way to the main room, and we're going to be heading out the north exit on the map. That's going to be the last doorway that we have not entered from the main room. As soon as you enter, you're treated to a small little adorable cutscene where you see this big old, I don't know, reed diffuser or something in the middle of the room, but there's a crystal. Let's go ahead and pop that crystal. Our doorway is going to open up, and I hope you're ready for a mini boss. All right, so this guy is going to be holding up 2 swords, and there's going to be one way to cut through the 2 swords. As long as you follow it perfectly, he's not even going to attack you. You usually get a chance at getting 1 hit incorrectly, and then you have to hit him correctly. You don't need to rush. As long as you're accurate, you're fine, except for when he does that little X move. Then there's no way to get through that. And there you go. That's all you have to do. That's how easy he is. Just gotta stay focused, stay calm. If you're not doing that well and you have motion controls on, you may want to try not doing motion controls. Or again, just take your time, nice and slow. It's marathon, not a race. Open up the chest for one of the coolest Zelda items, in my opinion. It's the Beetle. And it's basically like an ancient drone, and you can remotely pilot it wherever you want. So take it out, launch it. Oh, I'm using L to pilot. Okay, as opposed to if I were to use full motion controls. I kind of liked using the motion controls. Anyways, we're gonna head outside, turn right really quick. Oh, oops. And that crystal that we used to enter the room, that's how we're gonna exit the room. Don't bother re-healing up after that match other than whatever hearts are readily available because we're about to get a piece of heart. Take care of any enemies that may be necessary, and basically we're gonna head to the north side of the room. It's gonna be the one that looks like these eyes and this nose right here. Take out your Beetle and launch it as high up as you can go. On the front 2 sides of this giant urn in the middle of the room, they are gated off, and on the rear 2 sides, they are not gated off. So if we just navigate directly inside, there's a crystal. Boop the crystal, and that gives us access to this piece of heart right here. If you've been following along, this is your 4th piece of heart, and that's a full heart container. Nice. From here, there's some quick rupees that we can grab if you head right back on top of that perch and take out the Beetle once again. You're gonna see that it's hanging by a thread. You wanna go ahead and destroy that thread, and some rupees are gonna fall. 46 rupees, not bad. And this one right here, oh, excuse me, Mr. Bat. Okay. Well, you have a good day. And this one over here, which is on the right side of the room if you're looking at the map, right about there, this one contains a fairy. So if you used your fairy in the last battle, then feel free to go get one right there. Or if you haven't used it yet, don't worry because we're gonna make our way back to this room. I got that bat. Opposing of where that fairy is on the left side of the room, we're going to see a locked door. You want to take out your Beetle and launch him above that door. You see these 2 entranceways over here. Watch out, because we have some Deku Babas that are hanging from the ceiling. You learn that you can actually knock them down, and if you knock them down, they're defeated. So, 10 out of 10 recommend. Enter the door. From here, you're just gonna run straight ahead. You're gonna see the same puzzle as before, except now there's 3 eyes, but be careful, because there's a spider in the middle of the room, and he's on the ground. Instead, you have to just hit him upside down, and then, oh, how do I do a fatal blow? There we go, got it. I know how to do it with motion controls, I don't know how to do it with the R stick. As much as I like the motion, I think I'm gonna switch back to motion controls. We're gonna head up the vines on the left side of the room. And over here, you're going to be seeing a giant crate that we need to free or liberate. This metal crate, we're gonna push it down to the first floor. We're gonna pull it out 8 times, and we're gonna push it over 8 times. Climb on top by just holding forward. We have the attention of all 3 eyes. And same puzzle as before, just do a big old circle. Let's go ahead and collect this chest. And here we have another small key. Perfect. Now we need to backtrack back to the room that we entered in. Now in this room, take out your Beetle and shoot it straight ahead. I recommend flying as high as possible because we need to hit the crystal in the back of the room. And it can be a little difficult if you stay too low. If you hit any of the trees, then the Beetle resets, he comes back to you, and now we're gonna flood the room. Unfortunately, that does not kill all the spiders. Heading up the left side of the staircase, we're gonna come across a big old spider on a spider web. If you actually get this just right, oh, I didn't do it. If you get it just right, you can actually cut the spider web and just run around him and not have to worry about him at all. Head through the hole and back out to the main room. Friendly reminder, if any of that room did not go as planned, you can definitely activate that fairy now. If not, we are going to be making our way to the right side of the room. On the map, the right side. Take out your Beetle. We're going to launch him. And we're going to knock down all 5 of these guys. From here, cross the tightrope. If you look below you, there's a place that you can fall down to. And there's some enemies down there, but they're not necessary. Use the small key on the doorway and enter. This actually isn't a mini boss. It's more or less just an enemy that's going to be much more common later. And for right now is much more rare and difficult. There are 3 heads on this guy. Excuse me. There are 3 heads on this guy right here. If you hit one, then all 3 of the necks go back and any missing heads regenerate and then they come back forward. What you have to do is you have to hit all 3 heads, and you can do it in one fell swoop, or while their head is back, you could try to hit it again. Like if you get close enough. You're best off just going for one sideways swipe when you're close enough and you're done. This room suspiciously has nothing else in it. Oh, speaking of rooms having nothing else in them, fun fact, the room that that you got the Beetle in, if you come back there at a later point in the game, you can actually fight an optional mini boss, and then you get rare treasure, which is pretty neat. I'm gonna be covering that in a later video, obviously. Take out your Beetle, and we're gonna face it to the right, and we're gonna head on over around where the spider is, and you're gonna see a crystal above a doorway over here. That's gonna open up a doorway between the main room and the room that we're currently in. And now it's your option. If you have arachnophobia, you can actually just leave this spider alone and backtrack coming out this way and then through the door that we just opened right there. Or you just take care of this giant spider, my new favorite way, which is just taking my Beetle and snap. He just went living. Hop across the chasm, and now we're in the main part of this north room. There's a fun thing about this guy over here. So if we just head out on top of this tightrope, he freaks out, he calls a friend over, and then they sort of like bottleneck you. Or you take out your Beetle, and then they don't. He'll freak out, recall the Beetle, and just like the bokoblin in the woods, he'll now try to do the catwalk, and all you have to do is boop him. Boop. And you booped him to his death. Ooh, I do not want to do that. Don't want to follow him. All right, let's head across the tightrope. This is going to be the actual boss room, so we need to obtain the boss key. If we look to the left, there's a small treasure chest. Let's go ahead and open that. Red ruby, very nice. Now we're going to cross back to the right side. Oh, uh-oh. Nice. Go up the vines. Maybe you want to, I don't know, recover your health before you do that. We're going to chop this down and we're going to hop on over. Okay. You may want to wait until this slows down a little bit and lower your height, because the lower you are to the bottom, the more effective this swinging goes. And nice. From here, we're going to hop onto one of the vines. I recommend waiting until it slows down, which you can counterintuitively swing to slow it down, which is nice. I'm going to slide down a little bit, line myself up a little bit better, and let's start swinging. Very nice. Again, I'm going to wait till this slows down again. I'm going to slide down a little bit, and now we're going to head on over. Perfect. This crazy looking chest is going to contain the boss key, which the boss key of every dungeon has a unique name. This one is called the Golden Carving. Awesome. Now we're going to head up the plants, and this is going to get us out of here. We now have nothing else to do but cross that pathway once again, and then fight the boss. So if you want to, again, friendly reminder, make sure that you got that piece of heart at the bottom, and friendly reminder that there is the fairy in that chest over to the left. And I think I'm good. Yeah, I have my red potion, I have my fairy bottle. Let's cross the tightrope, save at our save bird. I'm going to pause because I have to pee. I have concluded my pee. Well, fantastic. Now we're going to take our big old key and we're going to put it into the hole over here. Good luck finding the exact way that this twists and fits in here. It's not this, it's close, it's this H. I found the H. Nice. Whoa, super bright light. It's Diamond Pants Guy. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the demon devil himself, Ghirahim. Who's like half cool and half like a diva. Some people are a fan. This battle is pretty simple, honestly. You see his little red hand there? His hand is anticipating that you're going to swing the sword a specific way. And at the beginning of the match, it's just going to remain static. So when it's up at the top left, I cannot do a swing from the top left. And now it's to the left, I can't do a swing from the left. So I'm just going to do a swing from the right. And just like that, you want to follow that up with several other hits. He's going to hop on back. He's anticipating a hit from the left. Oh, he moved his hand at the last second there. But really, you just need to keep attention to where your sword is. Oh, you don't even really have to move. Look at that. That's neat. You're just gonna stand there. Can I just like put the controller down? Wow. he just backhanded me. Was not expecting that. Okay, that was fun. That was fun. He was like, hey, we're fighting here, guy. The more times you hit him, the faster his reaction time is going to be, and the harder it's going to be to get a shot off. But you can do this thing where you swing your sword left and right, and he'll follow it a few times, and then he'll stop. So I'm going to swing left, right, left, right, left, right, left. He stopped following it, and boom, I get my hits in. If you're low on hearts, these little pots all around the room, those have hearts in them. And now he's going a little bit on the offense. He's gonna hop back, get a shield out. When he does that rush, you can either do a shield parry, or with really good timing, you can get a sword swipe off on him. And when you get that parry off, you get a whole bunch of free hits in. He's also gonna teleport next to you, and when he does, he's gonna hold his sword out a specific way. If you make contact with the sword, he's gonna get a cheap shot off on you. He can do this move that summons some darts. All you have to do is swing your sword in that corresponding direction and you're good. The darts also become mines. Ghirahim is immune to any sort of long range attack. So don't bother doing like a goddess strike or whipping out Beetle or anything else like that. And then after enough hits, you win. And he's just like, hey, I'm gonna stop fighting you now. Bye-byes. And that's it. Then you win. Good job. Good job, you. I believed in you. Then we get a full life container. And that's gonna bring our heart total up to 8. Do not click away yet, okay? All right? You think you're done with the match? You're not done? You're gonna miss a thing? I guarantee there's a thing that you're gonna miss, all right? You don't need these hearts because you just got the heart container, unless you're doing like a 3-heart run or something else like that. And this is gonna bring you to the Spring of Courage. Yep, the same Spring of Courage that was in Breath of the Wild. Instead of running straight and doing the thing that it tells you to do, instead, I'm gonna recommend that you hop off to the left. If you need a fairy, there's a fairy over here. Surprising, or weird enough, that's the only one with a fairy. Foreshadowing for later. And this goddess cube. You were gonna miss this one, weren't you? I bet you were. That's the reason I told you to not click away. If you were gonna miss that, then do me a favor, hit the like button right now. Okay? Alright? I don't yell a lot, but when I yell, it's for a good reason. You could also try to catch some birds over there if you want to, but you don't really have to. From here, we're just gonna do a goddess strike on the crest. Beautiful. Enjoy yourself a fun little cutscene. When the cutscene is concluded, you're going to be fast traveled directly outside of the temple. That's the reason I told you about the goddess cube before you were done. And Akikui is just gonna send you off, and that's it. Isn't that right, Machi? Bye, Machi. I'm sure I'll definitely see you later. And that concludes the Skyview Temple for now. Foreshadowing. But thank you so much for checking out this episode, the third one of Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword 100% walkthrough with me, Austin John Plays. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, turn on notifications. Be sure to check out the playlist so you don't miss the next video. Until next time, Austin John out.